Okay, you know, I thought this is gonna be a nice, calm Wednesday when I can just relax in the evening and watch a stupid movie or something. But no, I can't. I can't because when I sit down to look to the news on the internet, I go and see stuff like this. Gang rape a pleasurable pastime in black culture, claims South African judge. A white South African judge who was revealed to have stated that gang rape is a pleasurable pastime and part of black people's culture claimed that her racist comments made during a private argument with an activist were taken out of context. Well, if she was arguing with an activist, yeah, there might be something about taking it out of context. The scandalous remarks were made by Mabel Jansen, a High Court judge in the city of Pretoria, during a conversation with social activist Gillian Schutte, or Schutte, or whatever, on Facebook. Schutte had the discussion with Jansen in 2015, but only now posted the comments online. Why would she wait that long? Now, let's see the comments themselves. Gillian, do you believe that I am even prepositioned by my black colleagues who tell me they will be in Hotel X and expect me to report there at a specific time? I am shell-shocked. In their culture, a woman is there to pleasure them, period. It is seen as an absolute right and a woman's consent is not required. You may find this hard to accept and unpalatable, as did I. I still have to meet a black girl who was not raped at about 12. I am dead serious. I think she meant to say she was raped, but oh well. It is only now that women realize that they have rights and have to be taken up seriously that we are being hit by the veritable tsunami of rape cases. But we often have to hear that it was only about the third time that they sought to report it that they were taken up seriously. Mothers are so brainwashed that they tell the children that it is the father's birthright to be first. Ugh. Makes you wanna puke. I must hand you 10, 20, 30, 40 files and you will adopt a completely different attitude. The white people do have a lot to account for, but this, I feel like vomiting. You're not the only one, lady. So no, the black people are by far no angels. Their conduct is despicable. Murder is also not a biggie, and gang rapes of baby, daughter, and mother a pleasurable pastime. That, in reality, is the flip side of the coin. They are simply now in a position to branch out and include white women. No, Gillian, the two facts are most definitely not that espoused by the liberals. Okay, so how is this racist? How are these comments racist? She's describing her experience as a judge after going to countless cases and countless files, like she describes 10, 20, 40, about things like this happen. That children, that babies are raped, mothers are raped. I mean, she knows this from experience. She's a judge. She's been a judge for probably years. I mean, she's on the High Court, actually. She's a High Court judge, so she has to have a lot of experience. This is not something she's making up. She's making these claims based on facts, on actual cases that were submitted to her. It's not racist. Of course, social justice warriors, why not? Why are the reasons why Miss Schutte is actually sharing this? You can see on the right side. I'm sharing this again for the following reasons. To ask how a High Court judge gets away with espousing these views in public. These aren't views. They're opinions based on data. This is an Ingeborg's version of what she actually said in public on a Facebook discussion, which I copied and pasted as a record. To ponder how deeply the rot of the surface racism impacts on the institutional and systemic war against blackness in a post-liberation South Africa. Rot of surface racism. Okay. Opinions based on facts, which are black on white, ink on paper, stats, and court documents is not racism. To illustrate how these colonial tropes are still employed by the white master narrative. Bitch, these are not tropes. She gives you examples of bloody court files. White master narrative. And easily drawn upon to undermine black movements and individuals who pose a threat to the status quo, to the detriment of women who are victims of rape. No, actually, by bringing this to light, she brings the problem to light and states that it is a problem and progress and change must be made in the attitudes of people towards it. The only detriment that's going on is what social justice warriors do, because you're actually making a friggin' victim out of the rapist. To expose the thinking of a person who is directly in charge of passing judgment on people whom she perceives as monsters and victims. Dehumanized. How are they dehumanized? How are they dehumanized? Because I actually see compassion in this woman towards the children that are raped, towards the women that are raped. That's not dehumanizing. To ask how Kwabe's utterances could possibly have created more public outrage than these toxic, destructive, and frankly illegal utterances. You know, I'm not that familiar with Kwabe's case, but I'm pretty sure that what this woman, as a court judge with, I'm sure, years of experience, with her opinions based on case files, which she clearly states are not toxic and destructive. No, they actually shed a light on the fucking problem. You're trying to bury it under what you perceive as racism. No, I'm not frigging logging in because I don't have any. Let's see the comments, what people say. The judge makes a good point. This is what happens in uneducated poor countries. Then they bring those beliefs to civilized countries. Said the Toronto Sun. Yeah, pretty good comment. Oh. Okay. Or you can read most of those yourselves. I'll leave you a link. Ah, this is a good one. Congratulations on turning one of the most dire problems of your country into a quest for clicks and likes and a witch hunt. You could have taken a different point of view while disagreeing with the generalization. You could have shown that you actually do care about the thousands of women and children being raped every minute in your country. After all, that's the problem, isn't it? Truth is, you couldn't give a damn about all this. Yeah, that's true. Social justice warriors don't care about victims of actual problems. They care about their cause. It doesn't matter if they have proof for it. Oh. And SJW reinforcements. Thank you, Jillian Shoot, for your courage. What's the courage in this? The scourge of racism doesn't only demand of victims to deal with it. Demand of... Is that even English? Scourge of racism. Yeah. But an actual rape culture isn't a scourge. Nah. No, it's not. Racism is a curse. Opinion is a curse. I mean, even if she was a racist, it's by far worse that she would be a racist if she was one than it is for rapists to be rapists, right? I mean, hell, racism is so much worse than raping people and raping children. No, that's nothing in comparison. Nah. Social justice. We salute you for your courage, and don't be bothered by racists and their apologists. Now, now, I just don't know what to say sometimes, because you would only hear a line of curses after this. The backlash here, bitch, is not from racists. It's people who actually think that raping children is a bigger issue than dislike of other people for any reason. I mean, racism is stupid, but in the end of the day, it's a fucking thought crime. Rape is a real crime that harms and maims people, especially babies. Do you know what happens to raped babies? Most of them die. To the friggin' having their organs ripped apart. You know, my uncle had a friend, they both studied medicine. I know this is anecdotal, but I'm gonna say it this anyway. He had a friend that worked in Africa for a while. And he worked in this type of remote villages. And one time, this woman brought him a 3-month-old baby who was raped. And this doctor couldn't freaking do anything to save it. It died in agony because all its internal organs were ripped apart. That's what happens to raped babies. They die in agony, especially in countries that don't have advanced medical institutions. And even if they do, it's kind of hard to patch up every friggin' internal organ in a baby. You idiot. She's stating what she has observed firsthand, not hearsay. How is she racist? Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's what I'm saying. Another good one. Thanks to Gillian Schutte, we will continue to have a rape epidemic because of her self-centered desire to inflate her own ego. Very true. Less people will now speak the truth. Thank you, Gillian Schutte, ambassador for rapists. Sick. That's kind of right, because by labeling people that call out rape and call out the rape of children in certain cultures and certain countries where there actually is a rape culture, by labeling them as racists, you're shutting them up. You're installing fear in them, and they won't speak of the problem, and children and women will continue suffering from this. Just because you want to make yourself feel better. I'm such a social justice warrior. I'm helping the poor black people because they can't fight for themselves. They need my friggin' white knighthood. That's how disgusting you're fucking acting. That is exactly how you're fucking acting. That's how disgusting and despicable you are. Now, there's more to this because there are actually Twitter posting this. Filth, absolute filth. Remove Mabel Jansen from the bench, then review her past judgments. Such racist filth. No, it's not racism, it's stating facts. You idiot. Of course, the Twitter witch hunt has begun to have this woman fired, because yes, if you say something the psycho SJWs don't like, apparently you can get fired. And we're seeing this more and more. This guy stood by the Mabel Jansen comments. Ignorance, racism, and bigotry must get on the next trip out of South Africa. This is not ignorance, it's not racism, and it's not bigotry. It's opinion based on dozens of court cases she's been familiarized with to her work. Cretin. I hear the JSC is investigating Mabel Jansen. Good, she can explain the context of her racist comments there and then step down. Hamba. hell's Hamba? I know of halva. It's a friggin' sweet from Turkey and sometimes the Czech Republic. I know of Mamba, or the Mambo actually, that's a dance from the Caribbean. What's Hamba? A form of ham? I don't know. I mean, screw it. But yeah, of course. The social justice witch hunt on social media is already getting this woman investigated for stating facts based on data. Great. Truth doesn't matter. Social justice. Political correctness, yeah. Political correctness über alles, as they once would have said in Germany, only swapping that for Deutschland. But I just can't help but noticing the similarity. It's just like the Nazis. You agree with them utterly, and it's this, über alles, or go to a fucking concentration camp. That's the attitude of the bloody SJWs. Not only are Mabel Jansen's comments racist, no they're not. They undermine the fight against rape culture by racializing and making it a black thing. Dude, she's from South Africa. And, you know, sure there are rapes and there are pedophiles in Europe or in America, but the percentage of that is radically lower than in places like South Africa or Africa in general. Institution of racism is firmly entrenched. I don't know, maybe it is, but not in this case. Ms. Jansen answers herself. What I stated confidentially to somebody in a position to help has been taken completely out of context and referred to specific court cases. Yeah, I mean, you could see that in the friggin' second part of her comment. Her second comment. 10, 20, 30, 40 files. She's giving numbers. There's probably dozens of them. It's probably not this exact number, but it simply means she's been to dozens of them. Yeesh. There is also a strong possibility that those convicted sentenced by Mabel Jansen may use her comments as grounds for appeal. No, they're not grounds for appeal. They're not, you idiot. Stating facts based on court files is not a grounds for nothing because she's not a friggin' racist. She's a realist, if anything. Judge Mabel Jansen lends credence to the extremely dangerous notion that the law is not blind. That it sees color, partial, and prejudice. No. No, again, it doesn't. What the hell is wrong with you people? How can you even think like that? It's illogical. It's just wrong. How do your brains even process information this way? Because it's certainly not sane. It's just sick. Vujani Ngalwana, chairman of the Johannesburg branch of the Advocates for Transformation group, said that Jansen's outburst, effectively tarring all black men with the rapist broad brush, was shocking beyond belief. No, she's not tarring all black men with the rapist broad brush. She's basically just tarring a majority of the South African men. And maybe that means there is a problem. Give me a break. You know what? This just pisses me off was those bloody social justice warriors so much. I'm holding myself back from just spewing into this microphone the line of the worst curses you could ever come upon in this world. This Mr. Ngawana says, no words can describe the way I feel right now about being labeled a rapist by a High Court judge for just being black in South Africa. I'm literally gutted. Now, you know what, guy? She is stating an opinion based on fact on court cases. Means things that have actually passed investigation, because otherwise they wouldn't be submitted to court. So if you feel so literally gutted and you're so offended because you are not a rapist, then maybe you should just look into the matter and see if maybe around you there aren't any rapists who actually support these old traditions. Because you know what? That's where the problem lies. Don't try to burn a woman, figuratively, because she's noticing a problem. Fight the problem. Make it that she won't be able to say there's a rape problem in South Africa. Change that. Change the mindset of other men around you. Change the mindset of the people in South Africa. Make rape a bad thing. She calls it that it's a pastime in your culture. Well, make it be seen as a vile thing. Work on the problem, because I don't think she's saying this just to say it or to make herself a racist and basically throw her entire career down the garbage chute. If you feel so offended, dude, change the mindset of men around you. Change the mindset towards raping children. Because you know what? You hear that from these SJWs usually that it also happens in Europe where men molest children. But you know what? The first thing is that it's illegal here. The second thing is that these men go to jail. And the third thing is that they don't have a very easy life in jail, because there's this unwritten rule in jails that child molesters very often don't see the end of their sentence, because they're either turned to bitches themselves, either they just get fucking killed in prison by the other inmates, usually ones that have life sentences and have nothing to lose. That's how repulsive it's considered in Europe. That's how repulsive it's considered by people. I think that if it was considered as repulsive in South Africa, there wouldn't be this kind of problem, and she wouldn't have to speak out about it. Because she's a judge, she's a serious person, she has a career. I mean, how many years did she have to first study and then practice to become a judge on its own, especially a high court judge? And she would throw all that away to post a few comments on Facebook, especially ones that aren't even racist. I mean, come on, where is the sense and logic in this? What you are doing is like basically the thing you did about Donald Trump when he said that some illegal Mexican immigrants are rapists because there is an 80% chance that a woman crossing the border illegally will be raped. And suddenly everyone's twisting his words that he's racist and he said all Mexicans. Well, you're twisting her words around and you're making her racist for saying that there is a rape problem in South Africa, and she has friggin' court cases, court files, which I'm sure include medical abductions, like that those medical files signed by doctors who have examined the patients and can clearly state that this person has been raped. It's medical evidence. You can't question that. That this person has signs of being raped, she has injuries that are so and so there and there, and clearly point to rape. What the hell are you even questioning? What is wrong with you people? I don't even know anymore if you're really this brainwashed, this stupid, or you're simply this vile that you don't even believe in this, because I find it hard to believe that there are people this stupid to actually buy into this shit truly, and you're just so vile that you're doing this for some kind of ulterior motive, or to make yourself look good in the media in some kind of way, and you don't even believe this shit, because I have a problem in imagining you actually can be this much of a cretin.